Hi, the fun has already begun. So for this month's banner pieces, I did start the painting. We're going to have two of the triangles, one of the banner pieces, and then you're going to have two of the half moon shapes. And I did start painting because I know if you followed the first video, you've already got the hang of it. So I'm just going to do the painting and then we'll let it dry. And here are our papers for this month. This is a very Merry Christmas. So we wanted to go back to being very 1950s. And these are the 6 sheets of 6 by 6 that you will be receiving in your banner kit. We'll be even using some of the advertisements, some of the pop dots, and it's just going to be darling. And you'll receive your white paint, and then we're going to be using this gingham ribbon that is just darling to thread through. And you will have some netting so that we can put the netting type pom-poms on the ends of where this goes when we tie it onto the hooks of our banner. Now, one thing I want to tell you about your banner. If you did choose to paint it brown, let me grab this one. If you chose the brown, oh, another thing, and then you'll also have your layered stickers. We'll be using some of these, and then you'll have some left over. Don't hesitate to go back if you decide you don't like the brown, especially with Christmas. This is wood. So I'm going to actually, after I take this off, I will be painting mine black. All you have to do is to tape off, paint your frame black. And I thought I really liked the brown because it went with the autumn, but I think now with the next coming months, I am going to just use the black border because it'll get us through. And don't hesitate to even paint the whole thing again if you want it to be all different colors. So that is how versatile your little banner kit is. Like I mentioned, I already started painting. So just like before, I'll paint one of these and then we'll move on to the rest. So you want to make sure your sides are painted. And I really like the white blanc. It's a nice bright white that goes really well with this paper. And also, let's come in with our paintbrush. Whoops, and there goes paint onto my computer screen. And get it before it dries. You can paint it solid if you like. Now, one thing painting it solid, it does give a nice texture, so it's not the smooth sanded down wood, and I think it really does help the paper stick, kind of like a primer, but not totally necessary. So on each 5 of your banner pieces, your white will probably take 2 coats. Unless you just want that whitewash look. Now, this is going to be the November one for our Christmas. It looks like what we'll be doing with our banner pieces will be going every other month. So it's not going to be every single month. December will be, you're going to actually have a choice. So on the January, you're going to have a choice between a winter banner and a Valentine's banner. Right. Oh, wait, never mind. I just read the note. That is wrong. We are going monthly. December's is going to be winter. January's will be your Valentine's. There we go. So I guess I should read the notes here at my desk that I was given by Janelle. So we want to do this so that you're about basically a month ahead on your holidays and you have time to display it. So that's what my banner piece will look like. And as it dries, I will go back and just do a second coat, and I'll do the same to all 5 of my banner pieces. Okay, our first banner piece, the triangle, and after I've gotten them all painted, so this is my front. One thing you want to remember is you need to lay this the opposite way. Some shapes it matters more than others. And on here, decide what you want in your banner, especially at the top piece. I'm going to go for these guys as my main. So remember from our first one, there's a couple of different ways. You can either glue this down or you can trace it and then cut it. And I lost my pencil. Oh, here we go. I've got two. I want to use a finer tip on this one. So I'm doing it upside down so that I make sure I have my print on the correct side. I'm going to hand cut it, and if you recall from your other banner, you will have to do some hand cutting anyway. And some of these banner pieces, you can do some of your cutting on your cutter. And I cut just on the inside of my lines. And that way you will get your pencil marks taken care of. Now, those are cute to keep. The rest we'll go ahead and cut by hand. Now you can ink. If you want to ink your papers, you can do it beforehand, or you can definitely do it after like we did before. And on this one, I have a truffle, and I'm going to be, or a gray that I'll be using. I do believe, well, maybe not. I think, no, we'll still go with the vintage. And so now you'll see I've got the print basically where I like it. One side is longer than the other, and that was the reason also for the upside down, because you want to make sure that's going to be on the correct side. Anything left over, we definitely will go back and cut. And remember, I'm using the art glitter glue. I'm going to use the side that, I took my tip off. And we will be punching our holes from the opposite side. Lay that down, straighten it up. All right. Go along those edges just to make sure you have no glue coming out. And then, if you have one of the putty scrapers, the plastic ones, get in there and make sure that glue is spread around and all your edges are secure. We won't be doing any cutting until everything is secure. Now this guy's actually our middle piece. So our next one is going to be the poinsettias, which looks really cute with the different, the poinsettias. Actually, any of this paper looks just really cute. The one thing I want to do, I'm going to turn mine upside down. And I'm going to use the top as my guide. Then you don't even have to cut it. Now remember, you need to be cutting this upside down because these are not perfectly straight. They are hand cut by a person, so they may be off a little bit. Now we have two of them, but they're going to be two different papers. And remember, just cut barely on the inside of your pencil mark. Now you can use that for something else. Turn my banner piece over. Now your top should match. Almost perfectly. Get off the adhesive. All right, we'll be back to cleaning him up. Now for our middle piece. I love this one. So again, upside down, and kind of check your placement. A lot of times, see, I don't go towards the edge. I bring it in so we can get more of the design. And once again, you can use your cutter pretty much on all of this one. Okay, you might notice I goofed. So this one is our middle, but I started there, and I should have started. So we're just going to reverse our paper, and it's okay because it looks really cute. This happens. So this is actually our first sheet. And to be honest with you, I must have meant for it to be, or I wouldn't have totally just goofed that up. But we're still good. So just now angle. So if you want to reverse this one with the center, you certainly can. Okay. Anyway, this is a really good one to start with. Mine is just a little off. So the top here. I'm thinking it's just my eyeballs with the white. And we did choose white this month because of the different color reds. There's more than one red, there's more than one green, and the matching of paints, kind of like our advent tree, was not easy. Sometimes that white on white will throw the eyeball off. So just make sure those little tips on the ends here are down, and that one can dry. Now for the middle, we have our red sheets. Thank you, dear. You're fine. Remember, we need it to be upside down. Love the red. Turn that over. It's a good thing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead not fitting the way I want for some reason. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this other way to do it since this is a simple piece. This is the side I didn't paint completely. I don't believe I just did this. Oh, I'm not doing great today. One of those days when I should probably... All right. Turn it over and do it on the correct side. There we go. I'm just going to crease it. This is the other way you can do it. Instead of drawing it, which is actually quite easy when you're having a moment. And then we will go through and get that all trimmed. You know, it'd be easier to cut, not just darling. I know it's hard to say. Whoopsie. For this guy, we have another fun print. My goal was to get in this area because we're going to be putting our dots there. But you can definitely choose any one of these scenes that you like. So now you've got a couple of different ways to place your banner pieces. And it really just depends on if you're wanting to save some of your paper. This way it's actually a lot easier for some of you and for me. Now I will just cut it with a border. And you still have a few little, go around here, pieces that you could use to decorate around your frame if you like. Save them for a card you've been making, or maybe the card that's going to go with it. And I just, mine's going to be green. No, it's not. Oh, hi, Michelle, is you back there? They're doing kits today. I just put it on upside down, another one. Uh-oh. Yeah, she's done this many times. So we're going to get another piece really quick. Thank goodness I have the pad right here. So I don't have to conceal. But this will show you also, in case you make the same mistake I made. Thank you. Thanks, dear. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. So we're just going to put this on. We're going to do it correctly this time. Lay your paper on top. And one reason I'm choosing to leave that big mistake in the video is so that you can see what happens if you make a mistake. Now, the only difference is you may not have your paper, your exact piece, or you may have to just angle it in a different area. Because these are some of the things that might happen as you're doing your little banner. Or if you're me. It probably doesn't happen to you. It just happens to me. And the green wouldn't look bad, but my pattern here is pattern, and then I call these our backgrounds, and then we've got a pattern, and we end with the pattern. There we go. Mucho better. Clean up my adhesive. Now, this was the first one we did. Oh, and you know, that one was absolutely actually perfect, except for right there. And like I show in the first video, if you're cleaning up with a blade, just gentle. Don't try and get it all out at once. I cannot get a hold of that little guy. So I'm going to pull it. Now this one, yeah, we have a little bit here at the top just to clean up. Just go gently. And let me grab my smaller blade. It really is better for this. You do want to avoid pulling on your paper because it can rip. And with your file, remember, always go down, don't go up. Then you'll be able to clean up any of those edges. And then right here. Nope, that one's good. The main thing is to find out how you're comfortable doing your banner, putting it together, tracing it, putting the paper all on, and then cutting it. And sure makes a cute decoration, though, for your home or your office, even your significant other's office. How fun for them to have. And you can decorate it on the holidays and make them come home with it so you can change the decorations. Remember, try not to pull it off. Just keep going around with your blade if you need to. Or your scissors. Then we'll clean up all those edges. A paper like this red, where it's more prominent, is going to show if there's any raggedy edges, so you do want to clean them up. Then you can ink them. And wood pieces are really a fun way to display that favorite paper of yours. Now, you can also go back if you need to do any touch-up painting. And if you want more of a distressed look, you just sand it down a little bit more. Now, you want to be able to have it smooth, and you want it to be completely adhered to the wood. To the top. And now we can do our triangle. Now, just like your paper projects, it is very forgiving, as you can see with all the boo-boos I did with this one. Very forgiving. Even though I had done the paper upside down, glued on the wrong side, you'll see how forgiving your wood project is. And it's just really fun to work with. And it really just brings your paper to life. sure your edges are smooth. You don't want any paper, to come loose, to be able to grab and lift, especially if you're using this in an office or away from home where maybe you don't have your supplies. Okay, let's grab our first one. Now, just like last time, if you didn't go out and get one of your pokey tools, the We Are Memory Keepers, I know they have them at Hobby Lobby. You're going to want them because they fit perfectly in this project. And you really do need it to punch out that hole. You can get different, pokey tools. I only have the one, but it's just like a drill. You can tighten them. And then you need a good mat or something you can poke through. And put it all the way through because there may be paint in there or glue. Clean that up. Check your edges. Now, if you have a drill and a small drill bit and you need these holes bigger, you can use that also. I would make sure, though, your paper is completely dry. If you're going to enlarge these holes at all, I haven't needed to. And this one. Oh, my red one. I do have some paint in these holes, so I want to clean off my tool. There we go, before I go through the front, so I just don't get any paint on the paper. And then I've noticed, oh no, that's from me sanding. Now, what we're going to do first is grab our boards, and mine still has autumn on them, so autumn on it, so that's okay. I want to still use it, but I'm just going to be using it to set up my arrangement here. Okay, you will also have, we had to change it, you will still have your half a yard of the other ribbon so that you can make bows. But we went to the red and white baker's twine because as much as we wanted to use the red, everyone here tried to help me get it through and we just couldn't. So we are going to go with our baker's twine, and you have 2 yards. And so you want to pull it again just till we get to that end. That's where you're going to tie it onto your little eyelets at the end of on your banner. And then you're going to go up through again. Whoops, let's bring the camera this way. From the back side. Now this is very easy to use. One thing before you want to get, if you want, you can dab a little bit of glossy accents on this and let it dry overnight while you're preparing your pieces. But really, there's no need to, but it is totally up to you. So right now, we're just going to bring these guys a little close together, not too close. We're going to arrange them once we put them more on our board. Keep your pokey tool handy. You might have to just reopen that. Make it a little wider as you're working. And then we'll space them more as we get them onto our board. Kind of roll it if you have to. And then maybe it just needs a little push. And twist. I'm going to trim my end. You need to probably do that a few times, once or twice. That's why there's extra, so that you can cut those ends off. I don't want you to feel like you're down to the bare minimal plies and then you can't cut an end, because you're going to have to at least once. Whoops. That's why there's extra. Isn't that cute? And my last one. Okay. Let me grab my board. Even though I'm still using my fall, I do want to just do a placement. Now, this banner, because of our two wide pieces here, you will have them a little bit closer probably than what you did your fall. We had some skinnier pieces, but for this one, the paper was so darling, we had to showcase it. So first, get your two ends, basically same width apart. Hold that one down as we move things. I'm going to put him right in the center, and then I can just adjust these two. So these two are at the end. This was in, that one is in the center, and isn't that just darling? So, tell you what, if this is easier if you have a pair of tweezers. You can even just use your scissors. Around and bring it up over. Okay. Now, one thing before we do that, let me loosen this. tip your banner up. Okay, now this part is hard to see, but if you've already made one, you know what I'm talking about, because you are going to have to pull this tight so that it doesn't touch the bottom. So this one probably needs to go right there. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little bit of adjusting. It's going to be these three pieces, and you don't want to touch the bottom. Now at this point, I can cut my string, set my excess right there. Gently using my scissors. Okay, and for right this moment, I'm going to hold this up, and things need to be tighter. So we're going to move things. Let me just untie that. I don't want to knot yet. And this part is just kind of, you've got to just kind of get things figured out. So let's pull it kind of taut or tight. Your choice of word there. Bring that down through once again, but I won't tie it this time. So let's just hold it tight. And there we go. Now you can arrange your banner. See, even with the brown, it doesn't look bad. But I thought maybe I won't. It has kind of the maybe I won't paint it black. Maybe I will leave it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is lay this here. And let's do our decorating. I'm going to then tie it on, and I want to show you what we're going to do with the netting that was in your kit, because it's so cute. Okay, in your kit you have your layered stickers, and you're going to have, you'll have some pop dots. And the pop dots are just kind of to accent wherever you like. Let me put those there. And you don't have to, of course, decorate yours like mine. We all have our own basic taste. I know some of you are super, super talented, way more than me, for sure. But my family, now I'm just going to put them up under my string. Now, with these, I'm just going to set them there. I am actually going to go back and glue them. They're not, I don't expect them to last a long time if I don't glue them. And over here is my Christmas. Cute. You can use as many of these as you like. And I really do tend to put them on because they just add that pop. The reindeer with the Santa Claus sleigh. Love it. And then on the end, we've got the Christmas bulb that matches. And actually, it's going to sit right here on, I'm going to bring it down. There we go. So it actually looks like, instead of the starlets there, it actually looks like that piece. Love it. Then we've got a couple of choices here. And I really didn't, I don't want to cover this one up too much. So one thing you can definitely do is try the different pieces. I was going for the Santa Claus there. And then you have some pop dots to accent with. And my my whole idea is over on my, you can use it right here on top of your bulbs, but we're going to dress this one up just a little bit. My blue's going to go right there on the star. And let's grab our art glue. I had a bottle of art glue there. It's hiding. So. Now, we won't always have these layered chipboards, just so you know. We do have some other pieces ordered on our other kits that are actually wood pieces that we will be painting and adding on top of our banner pieces. They were just so overwhelmed over at the little factory that where the gentleman makes these for us. He just couldn't get them done, but we have them for definitely Valentine's, and we'll have them for we're supposed to have them for our winter one. So what they are pieces that go with the season, and we will be painting them to go right on top of the banner. Makes it kind of a 3D banner. I love that. Just red is so pretty. Then we've got our Christmas ornament. And it sits there and covers the place of that. And I know we've got autumn, we've got Christmas. So for me, right now, I'm going to just take mine to the back. And I'm actually using some washi tape that I had at my desk. Let me grab my new roll. And I'm just going to tape this to the back so that we can then add the mesh so I can show you. Because my ball has to go back on. And the nice thing with washi tape, or you can use your painter's tape. Either one will work great for this. I usually use my leftover washi tape for all kinds of things where I don't want it to become permanent. I'm just bringing it to the back. And okay, let me get my pieces of mesh that I had to open a brand new one. We've been using so much of this in the kits. Different ones. So you have over almost 2 yards, I believe. Got a lot of this in there. And what I'm going to do is just cut one piece off. Now you're going to tie your bow. So now you don't want a very big bow. You want to pull that tight, tight, tight. And I'm cutting through all layers. So I'm taking off, it's no longer a closed bow. It is now an open bow. So let me tell you how much you're going to take off for your bow. So for each one, I'm taking 11 inches. And actually, you don't need that much. But you have enough. Pull it tight. And then your little bow. And you want to kind of make them somewhat the same size. But don't worry if you don't, because cutting it, you'll cut it so that they are all, you know, eye appealing for you if you don't quite get it all the same length. Now just gather that bow, gather your little tails, and cut them off. Then you can go back and do what I call give it a haircut. If you need to. Let's see. There we go. Then you can just arrange those. And this one's probably a little bit bigger than its neighbors, so just gather them up and give them a trim. Gather up, watch your fingers, and trim. The netting becomes invisible. It really does. Don't know where my long one went. All right, we'll just keep taking it off the roll. So it's about 11 inches. And it likes to grab everything. And it grabbed that piece of washi tape that was on my finger. There we go. So cute. Makes me want to get it hung up, but we will go with fall until after Thanksgiving. Get your towels. Let's get it even. There we go. Pull it nice and tight. Cut the loops right off those bows. You can rearrange them. So cute. There we go. And they'll move too, so if you need to adjust things, which you usually do after you get them on. But the nice thing is, see, it's the same distance here, and it's because of the width. And so it's just really cute. Okay. So like I said, you have 2 yards of your netting, so you have plenty. So don't be afraid to make them bigger if you want them bigger. Cut that all off. Now, you do have your red and white gingham. So if you want to use the red and white gingham on your ends for your, you know how we kind of used it to hide those end pieces, so you can use your red and white gingham on the ends. Or you have plenty of netting. So I put plenty of both in your kit. So you might want to go ahead with another netting bow. Or you can go ahead and use your red and white gingham. After you get this tied on, like I said, I don't want to tie it on. I'm still using my fall. Just a little smaller, but I still want it to be a little, well, not that floppy. That just helps to hide our little hook. Now, I am going to go ahead and take my autumn off. And I'm going to store it in a plastic bag on top of some, you know, baking parchment paper so that I have it for next time. And then I'll just probably put, I don't know if I'll put anything on this. I just really like it. I think this time I like it plain. But you can add what you like there. And there we have our Christmas mini banner kit. And I hope that you guys really like this one. And as I tie these, see, I'll bring them up so it's much higher. I've got red linen everywhere. And then also with your leftover decorations, because I wouldn't glue them, but you can add, you definitely can add some additional decorations down here on your banner. And they're really cute. Okay, so there is, let's pull it this way. Like I said, I'm going to use this one still for my fall. So there is our holiday December kit. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoy your banner kit for this month.